Order the Oxford Area Cable Communication Commission meeting for Monday, November 26, 2018. Let's stand and repay respects to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Oh, that would be me. No, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, you still yet?
Hold on.
Oh, Maureen's a
Maureen.
secretary. You nominated
yeah,
her.
yeah, that's right.
So because you nominated her, I guess you get to do it.
Southerby,
Here.
Conway,
Here.
Newby,
Here.
Helmuth, Dunn, here.
Item 4, approval of the agenda as presented.
I'll move to approve,
Second it.
and I will get you back.
Now, see, that sounds like a threat.
It did, didn't it?
We have a motion, it's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments on items not on the agenda. Approval of the minutes.
I'll move to approve the minutes of August 27th, 2018.
I'll second it.
Okay.
We have a motion, and it's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Bill review. 7A, the OACC expense revenue bill run, year-to-date revenue and expense report, and the invoice general ledger distribution report for August, September, and October. 7A, B, and C.
Pages 7 through 14.
I can't see number 7.
So 10, 9, 8.
So I guess the question I would have is that they're taking funds for the building already, right?
See?
As I see that in the expense report, I just wanted to confirm.
Do we have a total here?
The building expenses are on page 8. Church's Lumber has yet to submit this month's roll-up of all their invoices.
So do we have a total for everything we're going to approve here?
This is, A is the report, not the bill run. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it is the bill run.
Yes.
Up
It
to
is the bill
13,
run.
13, up to page 13 is the bill run.
I move that we pay the bills in the amount of $149,612.22.
I'll support.
We have a motion, and it's been supported, that it's done. A motion was provided by Mrs. Southerby.
Conway,
Yes.
Southerby,
Yes.
Newby,
Yes.
Dunn, yes. Motion carries.
Letter B, or number B, letter B, the expense, year-to-date revenue and expense report.
I'll make a motion to receive and file B and C, 7B and C.
We have a motion,
I'll second it.
we have support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I just need clarification on one thing regarding this, because I know I've asked this question before, but since we haven't met in a while, I haven't seen this. The,
On which page?
on page 21, where it says expenditures,
Yes.
Why are we, is there an expenditure for franchise fees going out? Is that because we get them all at once and we got to pay some of it back?
Yes,
Okay,
we get it all at one day for the Village of Oxford, and then we get 50% back.
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm. 8A, status of new OCT facility, Mr. Service.
So far, so good. We know the walls are up, the windows are up. The drywall's coming in this week, I believe. And last time I was with Jeff, he said we should have us ready for it sometime in the middle of January at the mast, at the end of the January 31st.
I just took a ride out there, if I could. Insulation was blown into the ceiling, the foam insulation up in the rafters, so that's been done.
When's our lease up?
February 28th.
We have a month cushion, huh?
Yep.
How are you planning to move everything?
Just ask that.
Very carefully. A lot of the stuff, we're gonna, a lot of stuff to throw out. We're trying to sell the cubicles we have now. If we can sell that to somebody else, that would help us. Which can't for somebody to sell that, because we won't need those big old cubicles like that. Mr. Dunn has a question.
I could volunteer some trustees from the Oakland County Jail. What you have to do is, if I get them out there, you're gonna have to pay for a deputy for a day, or for 4 hours. And you have to buy them lunch, up to, let's say a burger. And they'll work for 6 hours.
Why would you not move the cubicles? Don't you need them?
No, those are great big old cubicles. We don't need those
What
tall
would you
ones like
use?
that.
Just a bench desk for all of us.
Yeah, small little typical
The suites.
divider between them.
Editing suite. That's all we need.
Allows all the editors to communicate better with each other.
So you got a plan on what you're going to do with?
Right.
And you're not going to?
Right. There's a whole bunch, so much to throw out right now. In another month, we'll have no idea what it can do to move. The most important is going to move to the equipment at the programming area. The other stuff we can do ourselves.
So I guess the concern I have, and I know I talked to you about this, but just to enlighten the board, but all the sophisticated electronics that you have to move, you're hiring a professional for that?
Yes, yes. Yeah, Curtis,
Curtis Toko,
Curtis
IT
Taco.
person.
out of Cavalry Computing.
right.
We'll move it along with Curtis, our IT person.
And we have the electrician that Jeff and Rod has, we use for him for electrical at the building itself too.
Do you have a budget for how much this move's going to cost?
We're a lot less than we thought it was. We thought originally it cost us $10,000 to do it. I think it's gonna cost $4,000, I think, to do it now.
$4,000 to move everything and hire an electrician and everything and get you moved in? $4,000?
We're not hiring an electrician to get us moved in. Our IT person is going to.
Yeah, high tech is doing that. Yeah, just our equipment for the electrical stuff from the program to the building. The other electrical guy's got a whole bunch of money for him yet. That's into the budget for the 350 budget.
Right now, all the wiring has been mapped, all the wires identified by Elgin. So reconnecting everything won't be a confusing thing.
So far, so
He has
good.
worked with the electrician that's currently there, currently been hired by Ron. Elgin and the electrician have talked about what we need once we get over there, so that's all set.
You guys have all this handled and
Yes, sir.
everything, is it okay?
So far, so good.
Okay.
The last move went in pickup trucks and vans.
That's about what's gonna happen this time.
Yeah.
U-Haul.
Well, are you taking Mr. Dunn up in his offer?
Mr. Dunn? Oh, yeah, absolutely, if needed, if needed.
Well, then I'll let you.
I could get you a price,
Work
I
that.
think a deputy is $60 an hour.
We could do that.
And the other guys are court-ordered volunteers. And like I say, you just have to buy 2 pizzas or something like that. And they're happy. But they can do a lot of the grunt
Is there an
work.
issue with just having Bill and Bill work those issues out with the trustees from the jail?
I don't think so.
I don't have one.
So I mean, you'll see a small bill.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll, the two of you, work the details out. 8B, medical insurance, Terry Stiles. I hope this is the last time I see this.
Me
So
too.
do I.
It's the same thing we did last year?
It's the same, no, this is, last month I asked if you would just let me buy my own insurance, roll that $600 into my salary rather than paying it separate. Yes, it's gonna be taxed, but I think that tax is gonna be a lot less than me paying $6,000 to $7,000 back at the end of the year. I'm willing to do that so that I don't have to come up with this huge chunk of money. And I've explained before, the reason why I'm getting that huge chunk of money is because I was supposed to and requested by this board to purchase insurance for myself only and not my husband's name on the policy, I've been forced to buy my own insurance, and I get a government subsidy because of what my wages are. They look at me as a single person, and they give me this huge $700 subsidy. And then at the end of the year, they see that I'm filing as a married person, and they go, oh, wait a minute, and they take the $7,000 back. And actually, you've only been paying about between $400 and $500 a month because of that subsidy. So at the end of last year, you gave me a check for $1,500 to help make up for that subsidy that I was getting and help pay back the IRS.
So you need a motion to
Just
pay
roll
you
it into my,
$600 onto your salary.
just roll it into my salary.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Thank you very much.
I've got a question though. Didn't that HR company that we were dealing with last meeting, didn't they say something about this issue?
No, because I requested that we talk about it after we talked to Marjana, and then we tabled it till this meeting. So we didn't have the opportunity at that point to talk to Marjana about it, and the work that she did for us was strictly for the handbook, and she no longer works for us because she did the handbook. So no, I didn't get the opportunity.
6,000 was there, right?
This number right here
Yeah.
might be different, I don't know.
This just makes it cleaner
What was
and
46?
takes away a lot of paperwork.
Settlement.
We're still paying the same amount. It's just in a different form.
Well, this is 2019.
And it gets off,
New budget.
off our
This is all-
agendas.
Yes.
6,000 up here.
Sotheby,
Yes.
Hunway,
Yes.
Newby,
Yes.
Dunn, yes. Do we have a handbook now?
I saw it.
That's later.
All right.
Good.
Does anybody want to take a look?
Yep. The copies, if you want to see them.
Production.
Yeah, that's enough.
You know
Cool.
what, can we go back to the insurance thing? I have,
It's off the agenda.
okay, well, I just want to give you guys this.
There's no
This is
do-overs.
basically what it's going to cost for insurance. So it's not like I'm.
You're trying to
giving more
support
than
what we just did.
I am.
We just gave
I
you.
just want to give you.
We just
black
gave
and
it to you.
white. Okay. Thank you.
Way to take control, Chairman.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
And you mean I did all this work for nothing?
That's right.
No, you got $600.
That's right.
True. I just want to prove that that's about, it's going to cost more than that for an insurance
No,
company.
they said 6,000.
So,
They said 6,000.
the question I have about the,
600 times 12. Could we revisit something here?
Wait a
This is our
second.
new handbook.
handbook, our
Wait a minute.
employee handbook.
Ed, wait a minute. My office manager had a question again.
Could we revisit the amount that is going to be put back into Terry's salary again?
Was 6,000?
Because it's $600 a month times 12 is
Okay, okay.
$7,200.
All right, got you now. All right, I'm with you now. Go ahead.
So what do you want us?
Nothing, we're good now. Took me to figure it out,
As long as
too.
it's understood,
That's
it's,
what it is.
it's
You're
not 600, it's 7,200.
You're good.
600 a month.
Yes.
I got
It's going
organized.
from one line item to
Yeah.
another, it's basically what it's doing.
Okay,
Gotcha.
sorry.
Me too.
The handbook, was this, is this the basis of the township's handbook?
No,
It's the basis of Margiana's.
So
who's
this
the HR
is
person.
completely from scratch?
this is us describing our business.
So
Her
she
put- her
met
putting
with
the
you in
necessary
detail?
pieces together, right.
Yes.
So
Did she
the
do
other
much?
one really was a sort of a boilerplate from the township, but this one is.
So this is completely ours?
yes,
Correct.
Yes.
So the
Correct.
one that took 4 years only took a month?
Correct.
Well, I think, again, you had a professional doing it, and before
Makes
it
a-
would
right.
make a big
be worked
difference,
on,
yeah.
put aside, and
And we have an electronic copy of it such that if any modification needs to be done in the future, we can do that.
Where's the money?
I'll make a motion to approve the new Oxford Community Television, what's it called here?
Handbook.
The employee handbook dated, to take effect November 1st, 2018.
Well,
We will
I'll
roll copies.
support,
We will roll copies out to all the employees, and there is a sign-off on the back of the book.
Okay, I was gonna ask about that.
I have a question. I remember back, there was a huge issue over carrying guns at work. Is that addressed in this handbook?
Guns are in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Address it.
Can you carry or not?
How and where, but we definitely talked with her about it. It's in there somewhere.
Is it, can you or can't you?
Cannot,
Cannot.
Does that go for committee member?
can't, no guns allowed in our facility.
Oops.
And I'm okay with that.
well, I'm fine with it too. We're not violating state law,
Other
are we?
than you.
No. She was very good at that.
There's gun-free zones.
I thought there were specific gun-free zones, like schools and churches. And government building.
Government.
Oh, I guess,
Not the
are we a
township.
government building?
We're considered a government facility. Belong to the community.
Well, I'm gonna go through this in more detail as we go forward, so I may have some questions about it in an upcoming meeting. I'll approve it as it is pending potential adjustments or.
Or maybe we shouldn't approve it.
Well, I don't have a problem approving it, I just wanna review it
Yeah, 'cause
With
a lot
the-
of us have looked at it.
with the idea that if we need to make discuss some changes, we can make some
Yeah,
changes.
that'll be quite
You
easy.
want that in the motion?
Well, I want that leeway anyway. I haven't read it all.
This is the first I've seen it.
Didn't it didn't come in the packet?
No,
No, it's a handout.
Nope,
Why don't we just table approval until,
I'm gonna withdraw my motion.
give us a chance to go through it.
yeah.
Sure.
Let's not take 4 years.
4 months?
After this one?
All right, 8Ds,
But I have a question before. In here, is there internet policy,
Social media
drugs,
policy.
social media, all the stuff? And they will be signing off, each employee?
Yep.
Okay, that's all I got.
Social media policies on page 20.
Sexual harassment, okay.
are there any more questions?
I don't have any, but Terry must.
No, I'm just being, I'm not here for
You're just being
18.
ready?
She's being proactive.
Okay. No, the gun issue was what I was concerned about.
Jacob, any questions on this?
I'd just like to table it so I can read it.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yep, all right. That's all.
So do you have a motion to table yet?
There's
We're
just
we're
no
not gonna
motion.
vote. We're just gonna receive and file. Or not receive and file, we're just gonna receive and review. All right, 8D, status of reestablishing PEG fees, Mrs. Stiles.
Really, it's about the same as last meeting. Mike is not doing anything for two reasons. One, because we still haven't heard back from the village. They wanted their attorney to look that contract, that interlocal contract that Mike could represent them in this issue. They wanted their attorney to look at it. We haven't heard back from the attorney. I've made 2 phone calls and have not heard back from the village manager on it. That's number one. And number two, I know that I've sent a lot of literature to everybody about the SB 637, and I talked about it at our last meeting. That is set to be voted on within the lame duck session, which then we could lose our franchise fees and our PEG fees for those who get PEG fees. So Mike said he wanted to hold off until he heard the results of that. That does not mean that we will lose our franchise fees immediately, because he says that it would go probably to the Supreme Court. That bill, there's a number of communities across the state of Michigan, 90, that are in opposition to it. So if it passes through the House and to the governor with that many cities in opposition to it, there's definitely going to be some kind of stall somewhere.
I'm surprised that there's even legislation being brought up for that, because the communities throughout the state are gonna lose a substantial amount of revenue.
Absolutely. And the
So
communities
why
are-
would their representatives support this?
They're not, there's opposition to it.
But if
That's
you're saying that
problem.
if the state legislature is gonna push it through,
Because the lobbyists have more money. The lobbyists for AT&T and Charter and Spectrum and Comcast have a lot more money, and they send a lobbyist every single day, and they also support campaigns, et cetera, et cetera. I will say, Gary Peters, so this also has been proposed on the federal level. And there are several senators on the federal level that are in opposition and sent a letter to the FCC that they're in opposition of it. But again, they spend billions of dollars every year lobbying, so it's tentative. So this, at the federal level, has been going on for about 10 years, and it keeps falling back down because NATOA, as well as Alliance for Community Media across the nation, fight it. And communities fight it. Massachusetts is a huge state for fighting it. So it keeps falling down. But there's a new guy at the top at the FCC. The original guy at the FCC was one that actually wrote the 1984 Cable Act. So now it's gaining some more territory because there's a different guy there.
One of the big things as far as local communities are concerned is that they will lose the ability to control right-of-way, which is derivative of the franchise fee also. And cable companies can use whatever right-of-way they choose without any interference from the local communities.
And that's why the local communities have spoke up in opposition. A lot of communities keep those franchise fees, but they're more concerned about losing their local control. I don't think they're even thinking how much money they're going to lose as well. Like, say, Addison Township would lose $25,000 every year just from Charter or Spectrum. I don't even know what they lose from AT&T because they keep half of the franchise fees. The same for the village of Oxford. They're going to lose a lot of money if they don't send an opposition. So it's not only, and I don't think they realize how much money they're going to lose, but not only losing that local control. And those Wi-Fi repeater boxes only send out a signal to 200 to 500 feet. So you can have a box every 200 to 500 feet in your community and not have control over that.
and you wouldn't have any say?
No control whatsoever.
And the boxes are huge.
No, I'm
I
talking like
understand.
the
It can go
government,
up
the
to
township.
the size
for
of a
instance, wouldn't have any
walking
say.
Take it all away.
We don't own it right away.
No, the big boys know.
There
That'd be big
already
boys.
is one in the village of Oxford, from what I understand. And once you let one in the community, you can't fight it. You can send an opposition, which I'm not aware that the village has. I know that Oxford has. I don't believe Addison or Leonard has. Leonard sent a letter opposing it.
Yes.
So Leonard and the township of
Brooks
Oaccc.
Patterson have a position on this?
Who?
L. Brooks Patterson?
Yes, he's in opposition to it. All the communities that are involved or understand it have sent letters of opposition to our legislature.
West Bloomfield spent $50,000 to $100,000
Yeah.
on this.
Yep. It's just AT&T and Charter and Spectrum have more money than we do.
The county has the right-of-way control on that.
No,
No, each community. Because it belongs to the community, the rights of way,
The right-of-way belongs
to each
to,
community.
well, in our case, it'd be the road commission.
Oakland County.
Township does not own a right-of-way.
Are we
Okay, so in the
confusing
town.
The
road
village-
right away?
These
A
streets.
village,
Right.
a village owns the streets. A
Right.
village and
Yeah,
city owns
sorry,
streets.
yeah,
Townships don't own any
right,
right-of-ways.
that's right.
so the county would be losing their control then.
County
No,
would
they'll
lose
still have
the
control.
They wouldn't lose the money. Communities lose the money.
Because they'll still have to go to the county for a permit to work in their right-of-way.
When did they vote on this?
Plus, they can put a cap on the rental fee for whatever they're putting in the right-of-way. And those are the communities that are losing that money. They're said to be voting on it during the lame duck session, which is now. We could know
When does the new
between now
people
and
take, come in,
February.
December 31st, or, I mean, January 31st or January 1st?
Well, I think it's January 1st, isn't it? Bill, you would know that.
Bill wouldn't know that, but I believe it's
Oh.
like the first week in January.
Yeah, I think so too.
But Bill doesn't know that for
Which
sure.
Senate bill was this?
SB 637.
Thank you.
Colleen has a lot of information. I've been sending it to her, hoping she'd farm it out. I think she just
She has,
figured
yeah.
out recently that it's really going to affect everybody.
Keep us, whatever information you get,
Oh,
keep us informed.
I'll just keep sending it on email-wise and hope
Right.
you spread it on to the next person. And a lot of it could be duplicates. I'm just sending what NATOA sends me, Mike Watsa sends me, and Alliance for Community Media. I have written to every legislative person I can possibly think of, people that don't even have anything to do with our jurisdiction. I've also written to the vice president and FCC. I've written to everybody I can think of. I haven't sent you copies of all that, but I have been really active and that's why I went to DC in June to talk to our state senators.
Okay. All right, 9A, Oakland County Investment Pool Report, page 34.
I'll move to receive and file.
I'll second it.
Been moved and it's been supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed. 10A, 2018 budget adjustments.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget adjustments that are on pages 35 through, I believe, 39 of our report for today, or our agenda. We don't have to go over each one, do we?
No, unless there's some concerns
I'll
or
move
questions.
to approve the budget adjustments.
I'll second it.
Does that require a roll call? Because it's
We're
money?
not spending money, we're just
Well,
moving it.
technically,
Reallocating.
we're reallocating.
It doesn't, okay, Newby,
Yes.
Sotheby,
Yes.
Hunwick,
Yes.
Dunn, yes.
Can I ask who supported the investment pool? Was that you, Shar?
Bill,
Bill made the motion.
and I supported it.
Okay, thank you.
2019 budget. When does our operating year start? January 1st?
January 1st, yeah. Biggest problems we had was the revenues, once again. This year's budget, the present budget, the former treasurer did most of the revenues of this. I adjusted some of the expenses on our operating for the station, but the revenues, we've always had some problems. For example, Oxford Village of ATD franchise fee, we had 13,806. When I finally got the village, it gave us some reports of what the monies was this year, so we had to adjust it back to a little bit, down to 5,806 to this coming year, a little bit. The other one, at the AC Addison Township AT PEG 2%, was way down, 21,000 down to 15, so we cut that back down to $5,200. I found another big one here too, somewhere, was it? Village, 18 franchise fees are 2%. We had some 18, where did I mess up that part? More additionals from AT&T PEG 2%, but I don't see it, but it's 2,200 coming in this year, that we'll have this year, because 18 now from the village will get some money coming to us for that point a little bit. Moving down to the underwriting, we're now getting some underwritings coming up. We got, right now, do you remember what it is? 700 or 800, something like that so far. We're just,
Yeah, we got 1,000.
yeah, 1,000 so far, so we're gonna move up to 5,000 for underwriting this year, and maybe even more if we keep it going.
Underwriting or what?
I'm sorry, 600. sorry.
Commercials,
Programs.
program?
Right.
600 so far, we're expecting more.
Yeah, got more coming this month too, so. Then you go down to the salary employees. Again, the former treasurer gave us that 146,620 that she gave us, and I emailed her last year that we have way too much of that, so I suggested it back at 10,000 last year. He ignored that portion. So I'm cutting this salaries for the hours this year down to 144,898. We're saving down 11,000 hourly so much this week, and then a little rate with our regular people. We're in pretty good shape again with salaries again. And then when you go down to big expenses, that's where the service professional is 22,824. That's like that will be of Mike Watson. If we need it, we're probably not going to have it, but it's still in the budget at the present time. And the capital expense for the building is still, we've paid 79,013 so far. We still have 279,86 to go. That makes the blowout of 682 really high for the budget, but that's the capital expenses and the Mike Watson. Eliminate that all down, we're pretty much cushioned
Oh,
even.
I was looking at that, so I was trying to figure out where it's Mike Watts's fee. 22 grand, huh?
25.
25 was originally.
That was what approved.
I think we have voted
That was
to not
approved.
spend more than that.
Right.
Not to
Right.
exceed.
Right.
So other than those two areas, you're pretty much in line with this year's.
In line, yes, sir. David has a list of, the services we have to have raised on, you were,
Right.
Yeah.
That was for 2018 and for 2019, separate sheets on 37 and 38.
right,
Or, I'm sorry, 37. And 39, that is.
we had the biggest problem was trying to get the reports for the revenues for the village. They finally got us some of the reports of their quarterly AT&T numbers, finally got them. I have a tough time getting from Addison Township. Makes it difficult to forecast our revenues. We don't get copies of the bills when they come in.
I think Addison Township told me that their revenue stream was cut a lot. A lot of people have cut their cable, so I hesitate to say the number because I'm not sure I remember exactly, but it was a large amount difference from a year ago.
There has to be a lot of people cutting cable because I see so many people streaming.
Yeah, well, that's what she said was happening.
Well, that shows you in the budget too for AT&T and Charter both last year. Now Charter's coming back the other side again.
Well,
We made adjustments for that.
That's another unresolved issue with that refrigerator box thing, because there's not a direct connection between that box
Both
and
of
the
my two
house.
daughters, they're professionals and their husbands are, and they just have they stream whatever they want to watch.
My kids do the
They
same.
want to watch a movie, they just pull it up and rent it or buy it, or depending on what it is. Okay, so do we want to discuss any aspect of the budget? Do we have a motion or?
So are we dipping into fund balance for $90,000? Is that what this is saying here? In order for it to balance?
Well,
All that 90 is for
that's
the
because of the big bills of the
building.
building
Okay.
and service purposes, yeah.
The 90 grand is the building. The most,
Take all those high winds out, and we cut
So
right
that
into a
money's
push.
gonna come out of the building and site or whatever.
Right.
yeah, the capital
Right.
investment fund, yeah. The building fund.
Okay.
Right.
Are you keeping a separate log as to how much is going into the building?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
absolutely.
it's right in the,
It's in the report in here.
it's right in the report here.
Yep.
Look on page, let's see.
You might consider thing coming back in January, another meeting, makes our checks come in from Charter and from AT&T again, and we look at revenue again and look at the buildings doing. So it might be important me to guys do another meeting versus not doing it at a quarter.
What page is that report on? You're suggesting we do a meeting in January?
Take a look at 38,
Hit-
page 38. That is all the expenses to date, plus churches gives us a series of invoices
Oh,
that they
okay.
don't really charge us until the end of the month. So that's why I wrote that in there, 79,000.
We had a suggestion for meetings.
Pardon?
Yeah, the meetings you had coming February 25th, we might suggest us doing.
Well, when we get to the part of the agenda, we can
Right. Call,
discuss it.
okay.
All right. So. Do we want to approve the budget? Do we want to mull it over? Do you want to table it?
No, we need the budget.
Well, I know we need a budget. That's why I'm asking.
We need an approved budget.
Well, you can always revisit it, can't you?
Yeah, you know, there's adjustments.
You'll have an adjustment, right?
I mean, I looked at it and I was trying to figure out, glancing over it this afternoon, I was looking at it and I couldn't figure out the one disparity because I knew that the building was taking up a significant chunk of the new budget. And then he pointed out the legal fees. And that answered my question. I mean, overall, he's not out of whack from this year's budget. Some areas he's up, some areas he's down.
Well, are you looking for a motion to approve the budget?
Either approve or not approve, I'm looking for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the 2019 budget as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion. Mrs. Sotheby is supported by Mr. Newby to approve the 2019 budget.
Conway,
Yes?
Sotheby,
Yes,
Newby,
Yes.
Dunn, yes.
The proposed meeting dates for 2019. You want to change February to January?
Probably a good
Or we can
idea.
just do both?
It's set up for quarterly.
Right.
So
You want to throw an extra meeting in there?
I'll make a motion, we have what date would it be in January?
The last
Here, 1 minute.
the last Monday in
1 second.
Somebody-
1, 2, 3. 28th.
28th of January?
I make a motion to propose the following meeting dates. January, what was that?
28th?
28th, February 25th, May 20th, August 26th, and November 25th for 2019.
There you go.
I'll second it.
We have a motion on the proposed dates. It's been supported. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Committee reports. Technical committee. Unless you have something, because I'm just waiting for the move before there's even any discussion on this. Personnel committee. Got a handbook.
We got a handbook, yes, sir. Just have to read it.
Facilities committee. Mr. Dunn.
We've already reported on it.
We did. Manager's report.
Well, we're going to talk 637, the bill, but Terry's already talked about that already. I'd like to talk about really quickly how we did a program called Americana at the middle school on November 2nd, I believe it was. We had Facebook, put it on the air, it put 2,447 hits for Facebook for our Americana concert. It was a great, great concert, by the way. The other thing we talked about is an agreement on the ground lease, which we have a lease done by the attorneys. That cost us a bunch of money. We had 2 attorneys going with that, one for the township, and one that we approved, lady for the cable commission. And they argued back and forth with our attorney from the cable commission, that she is approved with the lease. So, as far as I'm concerned, we
I'll sit
need
down and talk to Ron about the other side.
Okay.
I'll move to receive and file the director's report,
Thank you.
manager's report.
That would
I'll
be,
second it.
Got a motion, it's been supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
you guys getting out of 45 minutes?
Commissioner comments. Mr. Dunn,
None?
Ms. Sotheby.
I saw the video or the Facebook on the Veterans Memorial program, and it was very, very good. Very well done.
Good, thank you. What's,
And I thought they did a great job at Stray Dog Winery.
Oh, thank you.
It was lots of
That
fun.
was fun.
Yeah. Fun, very nice family.
Mr. Newby,
Nothing.
I just want to wish everybody happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that sort of thing, and we'll see everybody January 25th
Motion to
or
adjourn.
28?
28th.
Is that a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion, it's been supported, all in favor?